I was in school in the States, busy with my studies. And
we were going to visit my mom for her birthday.
I was still getting to know you. You know, we had only been dating for 3
Right,
months.
we're gonna stay for a week, and then we're gonna stay for 2 weeks, and then we're gonna stay for a month, and
Yes.
then 2 months, and then...
Then it got so fun. We started doing like workouts. We
Yeah.
started doing like this eating clean stuff.
yeah,
and
yeah.
like we went all in.
So, like, this is what we're doing now, or like, we okay with this? You know? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Beyond Borders. We have another story time for you. I am Josh, and I'm an American.
I'm Hope.
Yeah, this is Hope, and we're living in South Africa right now. And we have another story time. What are we talking about today, my love?
We're talking about how we got to move in with Joshua's mom after 3 months. Only 3 months.
3 months.
of dating.
3 months into dating, me and Hope moved in with my mom.
Yeah.
And we ended up staying there for quite some time.
Years.
Yes, years.
I never thought I'd tell this story.
Right, yeah.
Josh came up with this idea of telling this story, and I don't know.
You know, it's a story I tell a lot because
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting to me. It's crazy how it happened. You know, and it really kind of set into motion our entire relationship because when COVID started, we really had like a decision to make. Like, are we gonna go live totally separate lives, or we don't know how long it is before we get to see each other again? Or are we gonna like commit and go all in and move in together?
After 3 months of dating.
After 3 months of dating. So how do you want to go about telling the story exactly? You want me to tell it? Do you want to tell it? Should we take turns?
We'll take turns, but like, do you remember what was happening at that point in our life?
Like in our relationship, or I
Yeah.
remember we were going to visit my mom for her birthday.
Right. Okay, so I'll tell the story. Okay, so we had been dating for 3 months, and then this was March of 2020.
Okay.
So COVID had started, and then I was in school in the States, busy with my studies, and then he used to stay 30 minutes away from my school. So I'd go visit him during the weekend, and also I would go visit for my break.
But this was all pre-COVID.
Yes.
So COVID had not started yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now, in March of 2020, I had my school break for a week or two.
Yeah.
But then COVID cases had started, growing in numbers.
We were starting to hear about
Yeah.
COVID. Like, we heard something had happened and that
Yeah.
there was this virus going to other countries, but nothing had happened near us yet.
Right. So I came to visit you for my school break.
Yes.
And then during the break, because we were at his place, he used to stay by himself, and then I'd go visit him.
Yeah.
So during the break, we decided to go visit his mom for her birthday.
Yes.
So we bought him some gifts. Do you remember that?
Yep.
We even bought like some funny gifts and stuff for that time, and it was nice. So we're like, let's go visit, and then we'll come back when school opens for me.
Right.
And then while we were there, school sends us an email and text, I guess, and they say, hey, we're gonna extend the break.
Now, spring break was 2 weeks or 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It was extended a week.
Yeah.
So we just decided to stay.
Yeah. And then after that, we received the email that we're going on
Summer break? What was it?
lockdown.
Lockdown.
Good try. Good try.
No, they just extended it into one big break.
Right. So then Josh and I stayed there and we're like, you know what, we're gonna go back once this is all done and
Right.
over with.
We never really made a decision like we're moving in. You know, it's just like first it was, oh, we're gonna stay for a week, and then we're gonna stay for 2 weeks, and then we're gonna stay for a month, and
Yes.
then 2 months, and then
6 months.
I remember.
No, 2 months in, right? Because now they were like, okay, now we're not gonna extend the break anymore. We're just gonna move everything online for my schooling. And then when they moved everything online, we were still at Joshua's mom's house. So I just continued with my schooling online. And then now May, which is the end of the school year, comes. And I'm still, remember, I had an apartment that I hadn't gone back to. Remember that?
Yeah, when did your lease expire?
My lease expired at the end of the school year, which is in May. So from March to May, I had not gone back to my apartment.
Yeah.
And then when that happened, we had to go, when everything went online for school, we had to go back to get my stuff.
Yes, yeah. There was a lot of trips back and forth because it's about a 2-hour drive from my mom's house to where I was staying and to her school. So we would make trips back and forth pretty frequently. But I mean, that's pretty much how it happened. Basically out of nowhere, we suddenly had to move in. I mean, I changed jobs.
Yes.
Everything changed, in a matter of weeks, months, and it's like we never really knew when it was happening. I do remember, like, after 6 months, I think we sat down and talked and we're like,
right.
So, like, this is what we're doing now, or like, we okay with this, because we had to like check in with each other and be like, hey, or because neither of us signed up for this, She didn't know she was gonna be living with me and my family, and I didn't know she was gonna come in and move in with us,
Right.
So,
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
both of us were trying to watch out for each other and be like, are you good with like how this is going?
And I was still getting to know you. We had only been dating for 3 months.
Right, like we really didn't know each other super, super well.
Yeah.
And in the first few months, we were seeing each other on weekends. We hadn't really even spent like a full week together.
Right.
So we went from like going on dates to living with each other.
Yes.
Accidentally. So it was a big change for the relationship. I think obviously, ultimately, it was great for us.
Right.
Like our relationship thrived. There was definitely some ups and downs and some difficulties. But we kind of made the best out of the situation. She kept going to school.
I did.
And
we stayed there until, we stayed there, sorry, you were saying.
No, go ahead.
We stayed there from March 2020, and then I went back to school 2021? August, I think, 2021 August. So we stayed there for like a year and a half.
Right, yeah. I was in what was supposed to be my last semester of school, but I was in a horticulture program where, we all had to meet up together and look at plants in person, and it was like you just could, it was crazy trying to do it. So I waited to do my last semester till almost 2 years later. I had to come back to go take like 2 more classes to finish up my degree.
Yeah.
But it was a wild time. It was a wild time, but I do think it was good for us.
But another thing is, it's not like, I could have decided to not move in with you, but then we would not see each other because it was lockdown. I guess that it was gonna be harder for us to do that. And another thing, I don't know if we could travel then. I bet we could. And another thing was, I was like scared.
Yeah, I think at the very beginning, we didn't know what was happening.
Yes.
Because we were doing the whole like having groceries delivered and wiping them all down with us, because nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And I think we all just said like, let's err on the side of safety.
Right.
So it's not like at any point we were like, okay, let's stay here for a year and a half until it's over.
Right.
We didn't know what was happening. We didn't know if she left, if I would be able to go, or like what was going to happen if they
and
were
if
gonna...
I felt sick.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I didn't have anyone because I'm from South Africa, so I was in a whole new country by myself. So I was very, very scared. I was just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. It was just a very scary time for me, and it made me feel good to have Josh and then his family, just to know that if anything ever happened to me or if I felt sick, then at least they were there for me.
Right, yeah.
And then he was doing everything. He was like buying the groceries. He was the only one
leaving. It was intense for a little bit. As soon as we started feeling comfortable, we got off of it pretty quick. But for a couple weeks there, nobody knew what to think, and we were all just kind of freaking out together. But it was a lot easier that we were all together.
Right.
Because I think if you had been far away and I was worried about it with you, it would have been much more difficult. So I think it made it easier for everyone, and ultimately it really worked out. She got to know my family really well. Like we're all one big family now. So
How did you think it was staying with me and your family?
I thought it was pretty good. There was sometimes you kind of like wanted to stay up in the room, and I remember.
Oh yeah.
And I remember
not
feeling
not
like,
wanting to interact.
Yeah, and I remember feeling like, oh, I hope everybody's not like wondering where you are. But the house is like comfortable.
Right.
There was me, my brother, you, and my mom. So
Right.
4 people in a fairly large house. My room is up on the 3rd floor, and it has like, there's a mini refrigerator, there's a bathroom.
But there
just
wasn't when I
downstairs.
moved in.
Well, we got that for
We
her.
got it.
We made it nice and comfortable. So basically, there wasn't a whole bunch of reason to leave, and like everyone did their own thing. It's not like my family was very like, we need to do stuff together. If anything, it was me. I was
Right.
like, let's all have dinner together. I was wanting us to do more stuff together.
Sometimes I don't want to interact with people.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
honestly.
I think.
And it's nothing against those people. It's
Right.
just that I don't know. I just like to be by myself.
I think there was
Oh.
nothing like out of the realm of being normal distress from being stuck in a house all day.
Exactly.
It
was
was we
COVID.
were stuck in the house for like months and
But
months
the-
and months.
But then it got so fun. We started doing like workouts. We
Yeah.
started doing like this eating clean stuff.
yeah,
and
yeah.
Like we went all in.
We did really
Yeah,
good. We really
I
made
forgot
the best
about
out of it. I feel like we made the absolute best out of COVID. And we were in a pretty fortunate situation. We had
Yeah.
a place where we could all run into. The
And
house was
then I
pretty
didn't
big.
pay rent anymore.
Yeah, I was like
Which
saving
is a
money.
win for me
Right.
because
Yeah, thanks, Mom. But it worked out for everyone. I'm sure my mom was happy to have everyone in the house. I know she was. You
and
know,
she was happy to have me.
Yeah, I love cooking, so I was cooking
Yeah.
for the whole family every night. It really, really was like a golden time. It was nice. It was a lot of fun. And it's a good experience to have during COVID because I know a lot of people had way rougher experiences. And it wasn't
But
without
guys,
its drama.
don't move in with your boyfriends after 3 months of dating.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah,
that. Unless
only
if
if you
it's
have to.
COVID.
If you had, and I mean, that's I get to say that. Like, well, I didn't like ask, it just
We're not
happened.
advocating for
Right,
that.
right. Because her family wasn't like super happy.
No.
Like if it hadn't been for COVID, they would not.
They would
been
not have
happy.
allowed
But
me.
because of
Yeah.
COVID, they were.
They were
very,
scared for me, I
Yeah,
think.
they were happy basically
Yeah.
because you had somewhere to go. So it was like an experience that could only happen in that situation.
And it's so funny, like my mom somehow, I don't know if she truly believes this or if she just says this because that's what she wants to believe. Mom, if you're watching, tell me if you actually, tell us in the comment section because she, like a year in, she's like, oh, so Josh, where is it? I'm like, he's here. She's like, in your room? And I'm like, you think we're like, but actually, Mom, we didn't have the same room, okay? He had his own room.
Yeah. I had my own office, and she had her office, which was the bedroom.
Yes, let's keep it at that.
Yeah.
But anyway, my parents would not have been supportive of the idea of me just moving in with a guy. First of all, before getting married, but I feel like I would have rebelled anyway, but then just not that soon. I still feel like I'd be like, okay, I'll move in with you after a year.
And I think even for us,
Yeah,
it was
we would
really,
not move
really
in,
soon.
yeah. Yeah.
Neither of us were like
Yay.
even thinking about moving
Yeah.
in with each other yet. But I think it was like we had known each other just long enough that given the circumstances, it wasn't insane.
Yeah, and you
know?
wanted to protect me because you're a
Right.
good guy.
I protected
And you're
her.
a-
And look, she's still here. No COVID.
Yes,
I
and
was the
so
only
glad.
one who got it.
Yeah, so that's the story.
Yeah. So tell us about everyone's COVID stories. Let us know in the comments if anything interesting happened to you. If you thought this was a good decision by us.
Yes, would you have moved in?
Yeah, would you have done what we did? Did
Yeah.
you think it was too soon?
Yeah, it wasn't too soon,
Do you think
guys.
you could have moved in with your mother-in-law or with your mother if you're the guy? Or
You should. Mother-in-laws are the best.
yes, we both love our mother so much.
Yes.
Truly,
We do.
yes.
Alrighty.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank
We'll see you
you.
next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.